Hello everyone, welcome back. This is part 3 of our videos to put together the Jump Monkey game. Now today, in this video, we're going to be using a code block called the clone, create clones and start as clone code blocks. And that will help you to reduce the workload when you're creating this game, because we don't need to program 3 different banana sprites. We can use the create clone code block so that it reduces the workload somewhat. So you'll see that in just a second. I'm just going to reduce me, get rid of me here. Okay, so let's move on. Steps 10 is to add the banana sprite to your project, and step 11 is to make a new variable for all sprites called num_bananas, which can be hidden. Uncheck the tick box. Okay, so let's do those 2 things. Let's find down here the bananas. There we go. We've got bananas now created, and now we need to add a variable. I've already got the variables up here actually. So make a variable, and for all sprites, num_bananas. There we go. Perfect. And it says we can get rid of that, so I can uncheck that box. You can leave it on the screen for now if you want to see that work in the background, and then you could just get rid of it at the very end of these videos. Okay, so step 12, it says to add some code to the banana sprite so that it creates a clone of itself. All right, so what's going to happen, we're going to follow these steps here. It's going to set the number of bananas to 3 because we want 3 bananas, so we could change that and have 4, 5 or more bananas collect. You can play around with these variables at the end. And then it's going to do this repeating loop. Repeat number of bananas times, so it'll start with 3. Well, actually, it will create 3 clones of the bananas, 3 clones of the bananas. So this is the way that we can ask the computer to create 3 clones of the bananas, and then we're going to program just that string once, and it will be the same for all of the clones, which we'll see in just a second. So it says here a little question: why does this not appear to have any effect when we run our code? So if you put this together in your Scratch environment, why does it not seem to have any effect? I'll let you have a little think about that. I'm just going to put it together myself and show you. It doesn't appear to do anything. So let's put that together. First of all, for the bananas, on the green flag, which is an event, then we go to looks. We want to hide. And then let me just remind myself, let me just zoom in a little bit. There we go. Set number of bananas to 3. So that's in my variables. Set number of bananas to 3. And then we've got a repeat loop. So that's gone under control. We're going to repeat. So repeat until. Okay. Number of bananas times, and then create clone of myself. Now, is that under events or is it under control? There we go, create clone of myself. Okay, so let's run that and see what happens. Stop, run. Well, the bananas have disappeared, and I can still control the launcher, and I can still presumably fire the monkey. Yes, I can. So something strange is going on. Tell why it didn't appear to have any impact on our code? That's right, the first block in our code string here is to hide. So it's hidden the sprite, and then in the background it's created 3 clones of the sprite. So behind, under the hood, the computer has now made 3 clones of the sprite. They might be here, they might be they're probably all copied right in the center of the screen wherever that banana was last, and they're having no interaction or effect on any of the other sprites at the moment, and they wouldn't when they're hidden, but they are here somewhere under the hood. Okay, so let's see what we do next. So this is quite a complex string, and I think it's quite a nice one too. I wondered if you can have a little think about what's happening here too. This is what we're going to add to the banana script, and it starts with when I start as a clone. So we've got now 3 bananas that have appeared under the hood, as I've said, and then each of them is going to follow these instructions, this algorithm. I wonder if you can have a little think what's actually going to happen before you start coding it together. So pause the video, have a look, and see if you can think what's actually going to happen to that clone of the banana sprite when we run this string. Okay, so let's have a little think then. So the when we start as a clone, that clone is going to go to a random position, somewhere between 0 and 200 in the x plane. So that's going to be over on the right-hand side of the screen. We're not going into the negative x direction. And somewhere between minus 140 and positive 140 in the y direction. So that's going to be quite close to the bottom of the screen and quite close to the top of the screen, but not on the extreme edges of the top and the bottom. Then it's going to set a size to a random amount, somewhere between half the size, 50%, to 100%. So it's going to be a random position in the screen and then a random size. And it's even going to change the color effect. Going to change it down by minus 10 to 20. So that's going to impact on the slight shade of the banana, only a little bit, but it allows you to distinguish between the different bananas on the screen. And then it's going to show, so it will appear. So these first code blocks will set it somewhere random, give it a slightly different shade, and then it will show. And then it will do this wait until, which is kind of like a repeat block, if you like. It's going to wait until, or selection block. It's touching the monkey. And then it's going to change the number of bananas by 1. So that variable is going to go down. It's going to hide itself. And then if it's the last banana, so the number of bananas are equal to 0, then it's going to broadcast game over. Now that message that it sends internally is going to come into play later on, but it's created this condition which is going to start our game over sequence right at the end of these videos, which we'll see later on. So it's quite a complicated string, and we're going to put it into the banana sprite. So I'm going to be swapping in between my PowerPoint and this as I program it alongside you. When I start as a clone, we're going to go to, which is here in the motion blocks. We're going to go to, we need to have some random positions. So we're going to go to the operators. I'm going to use this random sort of lozenge shape here, and we need to go from 0 to 200 in the x direction. So that's going to put it over the right-hand side of the screen. So the bananas won't appear anywhere near the half of the screen where the launcher is. And then minus 140 to 140 in the y direction. So quite far down and quite far up. Okay. Click and drag and just drop that in there. Let me move that across a little bit so it can still be seen. Now we're going to set the size. That's a look code block. And again, we're going to use the random. So set size, not change size, set size. And we're going to pick random, between 50 and 100%. You can change these around. If you'd like them to be even smaller, and obviously go lower than 50, or you can make them bigger than 100% too, which could be quite interesting. Then set the color effect. So set color effect. And it looks. I'm not sure what difference that would be to the change color effect by something, but I think it will remember the color. And so you might end up with some very bizarre bananas after a while, after a few games, but you could swap that around if you want to. Set color effect to somewhere in the region of minus 10 to 20. So pick random, minus 10 to 20, minus 10 to 20. So it ranges around its normal color. and then we're going to show it, which is a look. Okay, from there, this repeating block, if you like, wait until. And then we need to stick a sensing block in there. It's touching monkey. Then we're going to change the number of bananas by 1. So when it touches the monkey, it's going to change the number of bananas by -1. It's quite important, the -1 in there. And then it's going to hide. Now that would work for the purposes of getting rid of the bananas from our screen, but like I said, later on, we're going to need this broadcast a game over message so that our game can end when the 3 bananas are collected. So we need one of these controls. We need an if, and if I can remember correctly, if number of bananas, actually we need an operator to get this sorted. If the number of bananas is equal to 0, or correct? Yep. Oops, just picked up the number of bananas, not the operator. Pop that in there. Number of bananas is equal to 0, then we're going to broadcast game over. And that message will come into play later on. Broadcast is up under events. Game over isn't in there to begin with, so you need to type a new message, and we're going to call it game over. Okay. Yeah, game over. Now let's run that and see what happens. Great, I've got 3 bananas sprites appearing in slightly different positions, and let's just see if I can fire the monkey at them and collect them all. Okay, well nothing happens at the end. You'll see that banana sprites have gone down to 0 here because this broadcast message is not doing anything currently, but it will do later. Okay, so that's the next part. I'm just going to pause the video there and I'll put up another video very shortly. Thanks then.